Blessings and welcome to Reasonings right here at the Trail Life. I'm in the Bamboo Paradise. Yeah, there you go. Long time no see, right? I'm your host, Jerome Sage Butler. And this morning, yeah, because it's bright and early, you can hear like the birds chirping, I hope. So this morning, my topic is going to be on integrity in friendships and integrity in relationships. I mean, intimate relationships, that is. And so before I get to the intimate relationships, I will do integrity in friendships first. And my preamble is just around, how it is I see that there's a lack of, integrity in personal relationship, both on the intimate level and on the level of friendship, and it spills over into the lack of integrity in a professional sense as well too. And that lack of professionalism and integrity is leading to a kind of destruction in terms of the quality of experience we're having within our society, and certainly how we're putting together a kind of a computable, quantifiable understanding of ourselves. I find that if we look at history and see how it has taught us, how it has been broken down in proper analysis, we've understood that a lack of integrity in a lot of construction of our identity, of our idea of ourselves collectively, have caused havoc in terms of how long societies last, how long nation states last. So we're seeing that these individual and personal breakdown um, lead to a kind of a professional breakdown, a lack of professionalism, and a lack of honesty and true trust and devotion in relationships, and it fractures even deeper in terms of the structures that males and females build, you know, within the collective, and from that, the identity of the nation state is born, and the tendencies, the practices, and the ways of life are born. And so from that, now we kind of have the kind of identity being carved, and a kind of expectation being designed from the lack of integrity, right? Or from integrity, you know. So if we base our personal relationships, in friendships, in intimate settings, in integrity, it will lead to professionalism in integrity, and it will lead to a collective sense of integrity in terms of how we operate as a nation state. And I'm not just talking about on the micro level, I'm talking about on the macro level. So I'm not just talking about governments and organizations that are of the state that we can then hold accountable, because there is some collective ethos and edict based upon the fact that we vote them in. So I'm not just talking about a constructive office of responsibility. I'm talking about a personal human responsibility, a way and an attitude that has been so lacking, and its nature when it is present builds strong society, builds societies that last thousands of years, right? And it builds deep, lasting friendship, the kind of relationship modules that our grandparents and to some degree our parents were building their relationship off, that is so splintering now in modern society, because people are wondering, why is there no true devotion, or true faithfulness, in relationship anymore. Most relationships are unfaithful, whether people want to admit it on one level or the other. So we're going to talk about these things in the context of integrity. Yeah, kind of a little bit of a long preamble, but you catch the setting, right? I know you are familiar with how I deal with my information, so yeah. Integrity in personal friendships. Well, we talked about recently the jealousy, and the dominance hierarchy, and how male personalities and ultimately their way of life is determined by, how they master their archetype, and when one becomes dominant in one's archetype, one then begins to become noticed and more attractive to the opposite sex, as it is biologically and even psychologically, right? Pheromones and such and such. But also, there's another part that comes out of that dominant structure, because not every foe our potential foe in terms of a potential, professional enemy, our professional competition, is based upon the fact that the person is just an unknown. Many times the person is a familiar, is somebody that is a friend. They're in the same field as you, and they're taking on some of the same pursuits as you, and such your clash a whole lot more. So we're gonna talk about integrity in that regard. So I'm gonna start it out like this. Many years ago, I was a part of a group, and three of us were in the group, right? And I had come into some money that I had made from an international commercial that I had done, and I'd also done a movie, Better Must Come, and so I had, you know, some G. Now, this was 2007, by the way, just to put it in context, right? And but previous to that, we started out in poetry like in the year 2000, and I got into a group in the year 2000 and like say and two, with Dub Master first, and then Ja Children. But by the time it was like 2007, we were LSX. We started from 2004 into 2005 because we were already a part of Ja Children, and we broke away, became LSX. So in 2006 into 2007, I got a great opportunity, and I participated with Bella Bella. We did this nice commercial, made some money, got paid in the US standard. It's more than the Jamaican currency, right? So I had some money. First thought, I said, let me do a poetry album because, we are poets and nobody was producing us. So I said, okay, let's do it. So we started out, we did the recordings, and, we had some stuff. I paid the money, gathered some stuff up, and then I was to pay somebody to do the CDs, right? Just about the time when I paid for the CDs now, you know, my friend now, is now deceased, group member. He also came into some money, and so I said to myself, okay, cool. So we can do the CDs, because we already paid for the record. I paid for the recording, do the CDs, so now we can go and launch the CDs. Actually, it was in this month too, because we're in the month of May, right? So at the end of May, there's usually a festival called Calabash. It's a literary festival, and they always make a little space in the open mic for poets to go. But usually during that weekend, I mean, I was a broke ass poet at the time. I had no money, no nothing, so I usually just sleep in a press tent. And if I had a girl, she would pay for accommodation. So, but every year I didn't have a girl. We did that festival for about 10 years. The festival started in about 2001, right? So for those years, I would sleep in a press tent, and that's how I survived. I was really like a struggling artist. As the story goes with most struggling artists, you know, pooling your funds together to do things is part of your mentality. So, to survive in a group in your life, that's how we did it. We pooled our money together and we could eat. You understand me? So then when we were doing we come to the stage where I had money now, and I was like, we're gonna do this album. And I felt okay, we're gonna pool our money. So I spent money on that now, and so therefore now I said, okay, I got a place now during the time of the festival. Paid some money to print up the flyers. Everything went a little bit over now. My costs were exorbitantly high. I got to pick up the CDs on the day of the festival because there was so much overrun, right? The cost went through the roof. Anyway, we got to the venue because we didn't have a place to stay at. To say I planned to stay at the venue. When I got to the venue, literally, I had not enough money to pay for the place, but I had enough, like to for food and stuff, but not to pay for the place. But we had the CDs, right? But my friend, as I said, my group member just came with some money as well too. So I said to him, well, so this thing goes, pay for the venue, right? And the cost of the CDs will pay you back. Because I'm going to divide the CDs, give you your portion, give X his portion. Because it was 40 CDs, and I was going to take 20 CDs, give them 10 each, right? He said the money that he has is to basically take care of the artists and to, have fun and to. So I was like, are you serious? I thought he was just like joking. He said, no, I'm serious. Me, I take care of the artists them because we brought drummers, and so I said, yeah, but we're gonna have a gate tomorrow. We're gonna sell our CDs. You know, we'll have money to take care of the artists, but right now the venue far more important because we're gonna stay here as well too. He never paid. The lady for the venue was so nice. She said we could stay. Oh, like, oh God, yeah. And I said to her, I want to sell my CDs, and tomorrow we pay you for it because it was like 50 US for the venue, and we're selling the CDs for like $10 US, you know. So I must give shout out, you know, to my friend, you know, my party, you know, Victoria. Oh my God, a girl there. We can't sing enough praises. Victoria stayed outside with me, with us that night, you understand, because we had to sleep on an outside place, but it was covered, but no windows, you understand me? It was like lounge, you know, concrete slabs, and they had like cushions on it. So that's where we slept. And trust me, those cushions and the the little sheet we had, mosquito would have killed me, you know. But she stuck it out with me. And in the morning, we headed out, and you know, I gave them their CDs, and I went out with 10 CDs. I said, because I really just need to sell five, just get this cloud from over my head. So anyway, I went out, me and her, and actually, we sell all of the 10 CD them. Like we sell them all. Next thing, we go back to the place, pay the lady. Felt so good. You understand me? A friend of mine now who had promised me to come and link me when I was at the festival, he came. I told him the situation. He was like, "No man, you and the girl can't sleep outside, man. The man, them boy, them a man, you know. You know, women, no, you can't do that for 2 nights." So he says, "Yo, Jerome, you know me have a tent." And there was an area, the lady said, "Yeah, we could pitch a tent," because there was already like a platform. And she said, "You know, campers do that. Virgin come and pitch up in tent." So then we had a place now. You understand me? For the second day. Right? 'Cause that was the day of the festival, right? So the first day when we were out selling CDs, giving out the flyers, you know, we ran into the head of the festival, one of the head, right? The female head. And she was like, "How dare you, you know, like be, you know, hanging out flyers at a festival that is free?" I said, "Yeah, but this is an event that, you know, we're writers too, we're poets, and we don't get to be featured on your event, or we're doing our own event, right? And so if you're charging $7 to come in, $5 to come in, you know, so what? You know, it's a good adventure, it's a good experience, and you know, we've spent many years performing open mic." You know, so she's like, "Well, you know, she's not gonna support." And maybe I'm like, okay. So we couldn't really promote like putting the flyers in the festival venues, but the restaurants and the little places that were along the pathway that were really there, those people really kind of, you know, they came through. You know, so we got a place to promote our event. Anyway, that was a Friday night when we went down, and on the Saturday night was the event. We didn't get a massive turnout, but we got a good enough turnout. We had a good time, everything was good, and now it was Sunday morning, right? And my group member now, he came and was now giving me some money. So I said, "What was this for?" He says, "I sold the CDs." I said, "Man, that's your money. That was what this was all about. What I was sharing here, right?" The look on his face wasn't nice. He was shocked. But I made up my mind then. I decided not to mistake the kind of euphoria within friendship for a sound professional business acumen, especially when we were in a group together. I assumed that we had equal share in the financial functionality and outcomes by the efforts. And that's when I realized that in a lot of situations, friends believe in equality of outcomes without equality of effort. And when justice is presented, everything got skewered. And that's where the sinking feeling inside came from in him. And I made up my mind then not to base decisions based upon friendship, but by the integrity of the interactions. And, you know, let's step a little bit further and let me elaborate a little bit more and make it a little bit more relatable and less personal. Being a trail life, everybody has a creative idea, a spiritual outlook, and as such, they're in college. So people are looking to take all these ideas and make them into professionals. So there's nobody there just winging it, right? Everybody's doing something, whether they work on stuff or something. They're doing something within the creative endeavors, right? Early on, I had this mentality of a unity within the collective. So I always wanted us to do a company together. I always wanted us to own a company together. So I drafted up several ideas of what Trail Life would be, with all of us being executives and different roles and functionalities. never happened. It was so hard to get people to agree, even though having their own functions to something that would benefit us. I didn't realize that it was just about the idea of who was at the top, who was dominant, whose idea it was, and who was going to get the praise from it. I thought the functionality of it was what mattered. That's why I didn't see what was happening with my friend Lynch. Because what was happening with him was this. I spent all this money. I did all these things. I produced the CD for the group. You understand me? I was going to get a lot of praise for that. It was gonna drop squarely on my head when the end analysis came that, you know, I put up practically all of the money that I made from the commercial. You understand me? And the movie. You understand me, Yashua? You understand me? I put up practically Shamu. I practically put up all of them. Yes, yes, Father. I'm not being trivial. I just want to make it clear. So people, I just want to make it clear. I'm not bemoaning money. That's what the Lord is telling me, Jerome. Stick on point. My friend was afraid of the praise that I would get from the endeavors because the dominance that would be gleaned from that or the kind of attention and respect it wouldn't be to him. You understand? And so just like now at Trail Life, we couldn't form a business because it was always my idea. I was always the one saying, let's do this. So people did their own individual things. Nobody considered to have a board where we could all add our expertise to what we were doing. Do you want to know when our business came at Trail Life that was unified? It was a second run at Sela Media. Because Sela Media had started first with a different outlook, and then when we started, so that was when our unified business came. When we all put together and started doing this video between me, Raman, and Bob. You understand me? And at the time, we also had Gala was at there at Trail Life with me too, and John Mike's come a couple times, come reason with me too. So we had a stronger cohort when Sela Media started, but that's when integrity started working. It's blessed spirit in Trail Life. But for years before that, no one stuck by the integrity that should have been developed amongst friends. We're so brilliant, we're so educated, we're so wise enough to know what our culture and our creativity was. But every time I said, let's do a business to exemplify and to congeal all these ideas for the function of being successful, because everyone wanted to be the master of his own empire, to be dominant. But I learned that if you serve, then you can also be served. But then, these are all ideological premises, but that's what I base my life upon. So let's fast forward now to the present. You have a lot of people who, just like at Share Life, they are in professional groupings of smart people like themselves, educated, well endowed people in what's necessary to do something that is beneficial. Their friends, they take ideas from their friends all the time, from the conversations, from the reasoning, from so much interactions, right? But then their friends who are also along the path of some professional business, when their friends ask of them, um, Jay, could you help me with so and so? All of a sudden, it becomes an issue because, I got this to work and I got this to work. And all of a sudden, it's like to come and help someone in the construction of their business is like a difficulty. It's like you're robbing yourself. But yet still, you benefit from the knowledge being exposed, from the experiences. It's really saying, get deep into it, Jerome. Somehow get deep into it. Let's be honest. That weekend that you met that awesome person that helped you to put your business together through financing, you met through a friend who paid for that weekend. A friend who paid for that weekend, who made it possible so that your stuff could come together in that way. Hmm? That boat trip that someone else paid for, one of your friends paid for, that you met that gorgeous woman that is now your wife. These things are all of the collective, but when you ask of your friends, through integrity, through value, help me, let's work together. I had a friend who, previously to this, you know, he saw us as, poets performing, you know, and he came to me and said, LSX, you guys have an attitude towards what you do. You're very cultural. And he said, but of the group, I like you. You seems to be the leader, right? And he kept coming around and just gleaming knowledge off of me and talking about he has these programs to do, and he introduced me to the people who's doing the program, and it's big, university in America, and, they got these programs they're working on, I know, and all of a sudden now, He's like, you know, you know, there's something that we're gonna do in Jamaica, and he's telling me about it. So I'm interested, and I got my own stuff going on, and he brought a camera and stuck it in front of my face, and I'm doing a video, and I'm putting the video, and he's putting the videos up, and the professor is there, and they're talking all these things. And I begin to get deeper into my espousing of what I'm about, and everything, and I get empowered because I thought, okay, here's a stepping stone. But the more I got into it, and the more what I was doing, and the people getting into me, I saw that his attitudes were not matching what he was claiming to project. He was claiming to project that, you are this person that, is a mystic, in the hidden parts, and I'm the man in the light of experiences, and I can take it to a certain point of understanding. But every time now I would try to espouse my presence in a manner that would suggest that I am here and I want to establish something, because I learned from my friends that he should establish something. I said to him, well, help me to start, pay at the company's office to register Trail Life, to start my business, and to do this motivational speaking, and to get into this kind of work that we're doing, and never came. And he was far able to. So it's not as if he wasn't able to. He was benefiting from the reasoning, from the knowledge. Oh, he loved it. And all of a sudden, the things got smaller, smaller, but they want to take a dollar out of their pocket, a $10, and they give you that. And, but to give you the space to support the opportunities of your possibilities, as you are getting familiar with them, as you're outlining them, as you're endeavoring to build them, there wasn't that there. And you might say, it's still vague. You know what's not vague? When I started putting my companies together now, I started getting ready. And then the name of my company flipped up as a name of his company. And I was like, wait a minute, where did this say come from? I mean, it's clear I told you about this, that this is my company, but I didn't have the quick money to go run and register and print up tons of flyers and everything. But you go and print up tons of flyers and do all these things and pretend like, you're my friend. You're stealing my ideas right in front of my eyes, robbing me, never supporting me, and then want to play like I'm some weird guy, like, who doesn't want opportunities. But look at where we are now. Look at what time has brought to, right? Pretending like, oh, I don't want opportunities, and I don't want to make the best of my talent. But every time now you are advancing in programs now, you take all the friends around me, the egocentric friends that are really self-centered. You're trying to paint me as self-centered, but I serve everyone. And that's a story that they don't want to talk about. But these people now, you took all of them and you built all these programs. And when it came crashing down because of all your egos, you came running back to me trying to be like a sad sap, right? And we all know that story go. I could talk on and on and on and on, but it would embarrass you in many ways, right? Because you play this strong image of somebody who's got it all together. You understand me? And we know otherwise. But as I've come into my own as a man, I've learned, friends without integrity are not worth the paper the word is written on. You understand me? They are not worth it. Because here's these people now who would say, you're talented, you are equipped, you're qualified, but within the same sphere that you are, is robbing you of opportunity. And right there, trying to, through their own mindset of dominance, try to dominate you and steal your ideas right there. Some friends would say, okay, help me out with a thing, right? So you help them out. So then you ask them now, when it's time now for the favor to be returned, help me out with the thing. This has a lot of problems now. The thing doesn't have to be money. The thing doesn't have to be financial. Sometimes it's the energy, the effort, the time to care, to help me, to listen to something. You have some friends now, they say they do businesses because I support businesses, right? Here's the thing now. Because I support businesses and I have integrity, you know what I do? I pay my friends for their services. They can't deny this. They can't deny this no time. I buy their products and I buy their service and I pay for their services, right? Here's a trick now. When these friends come into my presence, I've been a motivational healer and therapist for many years before I came to the awakening of Christ, right? And this is what I've been doing, right? And so people's always been bringing their problems to me. Now I charge a fee for my time, for my effort, and it's well known. I've been doing this for over 10 years, right? And these people come and they take advantage of my time to pour their problems out and I help them to solve them. and they never remunerate me for my efforts, and they want to fit that under the ambits of friendship. But when now I need something from them in the area that they are professional, I can't fit that under the ambits of friendship because my integrity does not allow me to do that. Now to intimate relationships and integrity. I'm gonna tie the two together near the end. You have a lot of, ladies who they say, when a man is, let's say, a good man, to start there, they have some ways to behave weird and unpredictable. So there is a dynamic within the masculine feminine attraction. And again, I think it's based upon dominance in both the hierarchy, in the feminine hierarchy and in the masculine hierarchy. I think the feminine hierarchy sets the dominance structure and its functionalities. And if a woman is not independent, free of thinking, or of her own integritous thinking, she will follow the constructivism of the feminine dominance hierarchy. It wreaks havoc just as when the male take the information from the male dominance hierarchy without the individual understanding of integrity, it wreaks havoc. Women who only operate based upon the feminine dominance hierarchy lose touch with number one, the quality within the individuals they end up with, are the individuals they are in courting with, are the individuals that are somewhat interested in them. The dynamic with women is that if a man seems that he will stick around, loving, caring, responsible, respectful, that's a red flag. It's like it seems like it should be a positive thing, but it's not. Boring, uninteresting, and without depth. I don't know how that analysis came to be so sharp and so tacit, but it seems that way. It seems like when you play by the dominance hierarchy, the presumption of mystery, of some kind of hidden power and depths and absolute exuberance in sexual exploits, in exploits of adventure, in finances, in business, in the ultimate, procreation of family, seems to be more shrouded in a mystery system within the feminine hierarchy. And men that are seen to be homely, responsible, and easily responsive and caring does not seem to get the right place within the hierarchy. They are low grade material. One might say, Jerome, what are you saying? Well, let me give you a background to how I came to that. Because I started in the opposite direction of that thought. I grew up very much listening to girls and I heard all the problems that girls had. So I thought, okay, I understood what girls really wanted, right? Because they want a guy with caring, a nice guy that didn't take their feelings for granted, to treat them nice. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? So as a teenager growing up, going through, I had horrible experiences because every time I tried to actualize and, be that, they never wanted me, right? And the only time I really got with girls is when they decided that they wanted to be with me. So basically, you would say I was a youth that had no game, right? It didn't make me feel good because every time I liked a girl, she wasn't playing on my team. She was playing on everybody else's team, and it became very clear to me after one incident happened. Me and my friend, we both saw this girl and I immediately liked her because she was like gorgeous, and I mean I really like the really gorgeous, beautiful, like aesthetic mind, body, and spirit kind of woman. Like I really like gorgeous girls. So the ones that are not too gorgeous, I'm not gonna pretend. Eh, But you see, the really gorgeous girls, they really caught my people. Say, oh my God, you're bound to be hurt in life when you think that way. Tell me about it. So, anyway, I was like telling my friend, I really like this girl, and we go up, we talk to her, and we had a good time, and I brought her to hang out, at the ends and trail life because it was my place. Long and short is next thing I know, she ended up with my friend. I was like, hey, what was up with that? Kind of broke my heart. I'm like, yeah, I was explaining, talking to this girl, showing her my, and everything, and she ends up with my friend. A few months after, she comes back around, and she's telling me, oh, my friend is this and my friend is that, and she can't believe he's that kind of a person, and whatever, 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 and he's sleeping with three of her friends, and blah blah blah, and this, and I'm like, well, because I really like the girl, so I kind of said, okay, fine, you know, we got together, and I thought, whoa, that was the end of it, but it was, we know, it's never the end of it. Long and short of it is, it took me a while to realize that to how men are so bastardized in the public eye as it relates to respect and dignity in relation to the opposite sex, we're already given a bad card. And women many times act without integrity, and it escapes the ire of others because, well, they're women. Well, I found out later that through clarity of thought that she just wanted to sleep with both of us. And she did not want to sleep with me first, because if she was going to sleep with me, she knew the context of sleep with me. She had to be in a relationship with me. She had to put up with the little nuances that she didn't want to put up with. She had to deal with the kind of personality and character and be responsible to be with a person, right? She didn't want that. She wanted a pleasure, and she was hoping that I was a personality who would just go for the sex. But obviously, I'm not that personality because I couldn't just go for the sex. But my friend, who is that personality? He just goes for the sex, right? And he will do her friend, her friend's friends, and any other friends that will come along for a party. He'll take them all, right? He's a testosterone junkie. You know what I mean? I know him. You know what I mean? And so I didn't realize that women are just like that too, right? They go around. Not all women are like that, but some women are like that. They really do like to try the finer wares, and they like experience, and they like it early on, and they try it many times with many different people. And so then, a person like me now, who is looking at an outer personality without understanding the integrity, the characteristics of that person, will always be deceived. So then, lesson learned. I had to now check how it is now. I was going to get into a relationship because either I was going to become heartless and cold as my friend, or I was going to continue and being myself but learning how to deal with this. I can't say I was perfectly learning how to deal with it because it did made me a little hungry for a little while, and I went a little dark. Well, you all know on my testimony said Sela Media how dark I became. I've been with so much girls that girls came back and told me that, yeah, we were together. They recommended me to other girls, that she said, you know how I met you, because this girl told me that you were like, bang in bed. And it's like, I was like, what? What? I didn't even remember doing that, girl. You understand me? But those years of walking through the darkness, I saw that I had countless amount of women. I didn't care who they were, who they were with, because I recognized that there's a lot of things that women don't tell men, and you never see it in their personalities and how they're portrayed to us. The beauty, all of that smears our eyes. No integrity. I operated that way for a long time, and I basically loved it. Here's the issue now. I got saved, and that's Joshua. That's, hey, Yeshua. Yeshua saved me, right? And when Yeshua saved me, I had to change my outlook on life. I realized that I couldn't keep justifying hurting women like that, not caring about who I was with, because women hurt me before, because they acted out of integrity. I was doing the same thing too. I was not being true to myself, nor was I being true to any of those women, as a matter of fact. So I began to change my attitude. I began to not really play the games anymore and begin to transform my character and my personality. Now, just at the cusp of transforming my personality now, I realized that I had a friend, he was beginning to come out of that egocentric and just unethical behaviors and, you know, non-integritous behavior towards women, right? And he started talking about, feeling and hard. I remember one day I was with a girl and she overheard a message that he sent me, and I was like, oh, this girl really hurt my soul, touched deep in my heart. And the girl goes to me, men say stuff like that, like hurting my soul, touch. I said, wow, you really don't know anything about men, do you? Certainly making lots of love to men, but you know nothing about men, right? I was nervous for him. I almost wanted to tell him, man, get yourself together. Go back to not caring because you probably live happier. He was like, why are you telling me this? Aren't you the Christian? I'm like, brother, let me tell you something. Life is hard. And even though I have come to a clarity of thought, I'm not having peace with women, right? And I said to him, be yourself, right? I'm going to show you by being how I used to be that you are out of luck thinking the way you're thinking. You got to get to understand yourself more than that. So one day we're hanging out. This beautiful girl that he really, really likes, you know? He's like, you know, this is the girl I've been telling you about. Tried everything. The girl is not really into me, but she's still hanging with me and this. And I'm like, okay, all right, give me 5 minutes. I'm going to show you, say, the character of this girl. Because you might think this girl is a great girl, but I'm going to show you her character. I go there and I say to her, wow, you know, my friend, he talks a lot about you, right? Like, you know, like you're something important, you know? And I told him, you're nothing. You're practically like the worst person you could ever be interested in. As a matter of fact, right? I told him, I'm going to talk to you this way and tell you that you are really nothing, right? And that you're a low down skank, that you're just tricking my friend, playing with my friend. And to the point where I'm going to tell you, and I whispered in her ears exactly what I wanted to do with her, but I won't say it, right? And that you're going to leave with me just to show my friend that that's the kind of person you are. And you'll be saying, that girl gonna slap you in the face. No, she did not. No, she did not. Hurt my friend's feeling deeply. Maybe she wanted to prove a point with him, but we did leave. He could not believe that the girls were licking her lips, that she was licking her lips, and she was very much eating up every word I said. I said some other things too, you know, right? I wasn't lying. I said some other things too, and I told her, I don't care. I never care. You understand me? I said, I don't give one about what women think. I don't care. You understand me? I said, my girlfriend caught me with her best friend. You understand me? And the fact of the matter is, I wanted her to. You understand me? Stuff like that excited her. You understand me? And so then we go to the nature of the excitement of sexuality through the feminine hierarchy influencing their choice. It's always interesting that after they get pregnant for the guy who's fitting all the ideology they create in the feminine hierarchy about who's an attractive man, and they think he's so responsible or he's so sexually appealing, and he's no, he just like the blackhead men followed the instructions, and so he opened the package. It was really simple. That's why he opened the package. And so men that had depth of character and personality, well, we had to really go deep. And because we went in depth, we realized that the woman of quality is not so easy. She's not in the fray. She doesn't come to the fore easily because she is very much absorbed into all of the pain and suffering she's had to go through with all those men that are led by the dominance hierarchy too. The hullabaloo, because they always mistreat her and abuse her, right? Just like how those women mistreat and abuse good men and laugh at them and trivialize their suffering and their pain and call them all sorts of names. But when they get pregnant for the no caring brother who doesn't know himself, who we, the men of integrity, know is going to crumble eventually, the women choose them for the supposed excitement in the moment and all this sexual, fire that is not sustainable because it's a bright light that is so attractive, moth to a flame. But after all that excitement, all that sexual, salubrious magnificence and excitement, utter darkness. Some get pregnant, a child of chaos is there. Who do you think they come to? Men of integrity, men who won't dishonor them, to become stepfathers and husbands on the fly. And I've always refused to be that person. And even when I've come to faith, I've refused to be that person, right? All my life I've suffered under that. I'm not playing alpha, beta, sigma, r. You can name them out in all the Greek letters you want. I only base relationship upon integrity, not some feminine dominant hierarchical structure of integrity or a masculine dominant hierarchical structure of integrity, but an individual structure of integrity that is based upon my observation of the individual. The dominant structure that is held by men and women is superfluous. It's superficial. We look at the civilizations, the societies born out of them, utter and total chaos, distrust, disharmony. No form of fidelity in relationships. Because people do not marry the ones they love. They marry to the one that fits the archetype, that fits the conditions of marriage. Matrimony, match for money, match for money, settling. Many of the males in society have not married to the woman that they truly ought to marry to, based upon the true character they have within themselves. Many men just marry based upon the fact that they were dominant, and dominating your fellow males, subduing them to your utter pleasure, made you very attractive to the absolutely gorgeous girl. Never mind the fact that you can't play on a team. Never mind the fact that society is made up of team. Society is social. It's social networking before Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. That's why these things had to be. That's what society is. It's social networking. But yet still, the dominance hierarchy is made up of this individual, you know, pursuits of the hero worshipping. You know, these archetypes of these individuals that are without integrity, that are self-serving and self-seeking, and will cut throats, annihilate the competition just to win the heart of the fine maiden. These super jocks and these cheerleaders. And so the cheerleader archetype, these women who are driven for profit, for benefit, for the place of aggrandizement with these leads of the opposite archetypes, these blockheads, you know, they create this ideology that is without merit, that is without true integrity. They're deceptive, dishonorable, they're disrespectful and disingenuous to their own sex in a lot of cases, just to snag the popular guy. Girls, you know that. You and the man been going along for a long time. True, genuine connection. And some smart girl, full of her little ego-fluous ways, stole him. And people say, well, if he was yours, he couldn't, come on. She couldn't take him? That's a joke. The charm of women, and sometimes the innocence of men, are the willing natures of men. It is sexual. It is natural. So it is possible that a lot of men do lose their focus because you have a woman over here who's intensely directing all of her energy, sexual, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, at that man, are trying to ruin his happiness, ruin his relationship for a sexual high. It's the truth. So there's a lot of broken, constructed ideas that form families, and from this splintering is the society made. So people are talking about quality of products and services. Well, people are disingenuous in their own lives. They lack integrity in how they treat themselves, in how they treat others. So how is it then that they cannot get this from their own personal relationship, and they think it's going to be in society? They think there's going to be honesty and dignity within society when men and women are being disingenuous to each other in the fact that they have no integrity. There are lots of women who say they love the chase, They love when you go after them and you shell out on them. And they form an idea that you'll go to the ends of the earth for them. Is that really what it is? Because in a lot of cases, a lot of the whims that women ask of men are without merit. And if you're in a lasting, sustaining relationship and you should ask such, trivial stuff, ask for such trivial stuff to be satisfied, and say you have children, you are creating bile and bitter within a relationship that is real. It's not ideological no more. It's not something that is a premise. You've got children. It will feed into the children's reality. It will color their lives and have effect for hundreds of years to come. Our lack of integrity will come back not just to haunt us, but to haunt all our nations. As parents, they say they want their daughters and sons to grow up and have good wives and husbands. Come on. The way in which they are creating their ideas of wives and husbands is without integrity, based upon just some desire based satisfaction, fulfilling the she-go, satisfying the ego. So when a woman is being honest, when she's being truthful, when she's showing you her true self, that's when you're turning your back on her. That's when you're playing her to your friends. That's when you're acting like she's not of merit. But some woman that he's been with, his cousin's been with, his brethren's been with, that's the girl you're promoting so highly and talking how much you got her in all them positions. Girl can do her, and girl can give you. And girls, all you're talking about is just a player because he got game and he's smooth and how he treats you nice, he treats you good, and you have abandoned to examine the fact that what's gonna cause problems a few years down the road was quite evident. You know you weren't the only woman in his life, but you said from a brother's got game, he would have girls in his life, makes him a real man. Ignoring men who has integrity would rather be devoted to one woman. Case in point, just to, bring it all together. I remember a while back, right? I had a girlfriend and she had a friend. I was like, it's like my first to second girlfriend, so I won't call her names. But she was a friend, she was a cousin of one of my friends, and we started talking and we connected, right? Me and her had a nice bond. First girl I ever gave flowers to, that weird, because I was like this shivers kind of character. Anyway, I gave her flowers and everything and took her out, treat her on Valentine's Day. I was all into the love things. So people think that I'm not into that. I was always into that stuff, deep and passionate. Once my first real employer when I was a teenager said, Jerome, you're in love with being in love. But that was always me. And so she had a best friend, was quite, I don't know, jealous of the experience of me and her, and offered herself up to me. You know, I was like 16 years old. I'm like, but my nature is like, when I'm into a girl, I'm into a girl. I'm not into her friend's friend. I'm really just into her. That's my real personality. Before I got messed up, that's really is me, right? So I'm just into her, not her friend. So she's like, where, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. The girl drove a wedge between me and my girl because I wouldn't sleep with her. You understand me? A wedge. You understand me? And set up, in Jamaica we call it set up, my my brethren, one of my friends, and my girlfriend. You understand me? Painful way to learn that, relationship and sexual energy, it's a warfare sometimes. I lost that girl, broke my heart, you know what I mean? All those things added to my anger. So it started a trend. My very next girlfriend, same thing happened, you know, and it happened with two of her friends. One came and just started telling me lies about her and said, no, she has a boyfriend because I had just, finished high school, but she was in her last year and said that she still had a boyfriend at high school and told me a lot of lies. So angry at her, wanted to leave her, what I mean? And when I found out the truth, I was like, dang, this girl. But at the same time, she was telling me that my girl was cheating and that she was putting herself as a better candidate. And So when I found out it was a lie, broke my heart again. But I changed when the second friend, now another cute girl, you know, came and was playing games again with me, Oh, she liked me from all. When I popped that cherry, oh my God, I said to myself, don't play with me like that because it's too much. I can't stand it. Because I wasn't going up there playing the game with them. They were coming and playing the games with me. So, girls, a lot of time you need to check your best friend because she ain't no best friend to you. You understand me? She's just playing for the dominance hierarchy. She wants to get one up on you to have it said that she slept with your man or she destroyed your family and your relationship. So when you're there telling her all your business about you and your man, and she telling her your man is not worth this or your man is not worth that, you ought to know by integrity a person who's genuinely there for you. And if you really shun someone that has have true quality and true dignity, and then you come to know what reality is, you're going to be kicking yourself. So I know a lot of women out there kicking themselves because they were deceptive to good men. They were unjust with good men. And I know a lot of men out there, yeah, kicking themselves because they were unjust with good women, right? That is a priceless commodity that people take advantage of, playing dominance games, right? Lacking integrity in friendships and in intimate personal relationships. Brethren, if you respect your brethren and you know that your brethren needs the support, he's playing a match today. You're not much into the sport that he's into. Go and give him some support. Because every time you're there playing your chess game and you're there trying to be the master of the ladies, he's there in your corner rooting for you. Eh? Stop playing dominant hypocrite. Stop playing dominant hypocrite. Girls, you know that your friend really is into that guy. And you know he's a good person. And you know that they deserve each other. And because you know how you know? Because you tried him and he wouldn't fall for your tricks. So you try to do what? Lower his standard in the hierarchy because you are the one that's supposed to know who is good and who is not. You're supposed to decide, right? Act wrong. It's so sad that women fall for your mind games because you're gonna head up the sorority, you're gonna head up the clan, the cliques, you're gonna be drawing all the attention, right? Like Shark and guys that's becoming like Remori, right? You set a bitter and vile game. Women, do not be deceived by those girls, by those women. They do not have your best interest at heart. They wreck good relationship. They wreck happiness. Don't make it be just about, oh, the man is weak, the man is weak. Are you so strong as to not make a mistake? Which man out there is gonna see good quality woman offered up, strong vagina, and not just go crazy unless he's got other problems or deeply devoted to some higher calling. And even when he is, he's gonna take his eye off God for some moment. And if he's seeing vagina and he's straight, he's gonna fall a lot of times straight into vagina. You understand? So a lot of people are gonna be angry. A lot of people are like, "Whoa," but it's the way it is, right? And I don't like when you, as people, a lot of times lie to yourselves, and then you're like, "Why am I in a relationship that is not fulfilling?" You know how you got the girl. You know you got the man. So why are you talking about the relationship isn't fulfilling? There's a person who wanted to build with you, right? But you said that person was boring, uninteresting, or she wasn't attractive enough, or she was attractive but she wasn't sexy enough, or she wasn't freaky enough, or she wasn't crazy enough, or whatever. And so these mentalities, these behaviors, right, in the personal context, has great implication in interpersonal relationship, and multiply society two times two, you get all the people at the end of the equation. And if we are all broken and splintered in those lack of integrity, relationship, professional situations and circumstances, you're gonna see why it's a cutthroat world, why women are cheating, why men are cheating, why we can't have trust in relationships. So the next time you like a girl, virgin, genuinely, I hope to God you find a way to connect with her heart and her soul beyond the dominant structure that she can see you. And girls, the next time you really like a man, I pray to God that you can find a way to connect to him beyond all the dominant structures, the expectations, right? And women who are used to playing games that think that the games won't come back at you. I'm sorry for you when you're in a situation that is permanent, that seems permanent, with your absolute nightmare that you're trying to grasp at a good man to pull you out of. I'm so sorry that you'd find yourself in such a situation. But maybe next time you'll think about just jumping because you heard he has a size 12. or a size 10, right? Or you hear that, he goes for hours. He's not minding his kids. He's not taking care of his children. As a matter of fact, why should you have so many children all over the place? How could you even take care of them? Isn't money the way to take care of kids? Right? Multiple baby fathers. How is that the way to build a society? Polyamorous women, polyamorous men. There are men out here that still wants one wife. Because what's the sense in having three women if they all lack integrity? It's better to stick with one woman that has integrity. I notice I didn't talk about good or bad, right or wrong. It's just really about integrity, right? Many people are lying to themselves, hence lacking integrity. How could you expect that you should fail in the standard, but expect the standard to support you? You are making improper choices, and because you're making improper choices, you are having improper end results. You are choosing not to support your friends in their endeavors, to not to be a true friend. You lack integrity, so your end results lack integrity. So your wives abandon you, your women cheat on you. Do you understand? Your husband is cheating on you. Your precious Christ-oriented husband is cheating on you. Your pastor of a husband is cheating on you, right? Your most beautiful chastate of a wife, as you think, is cheating on you. Dominance hierarchy and how these structures are facilitating people's identities. People rather just act upon what's popular, what's happening. Everybody wants a young pastor. He's hot out of seminary. All the young sisters want him. Is it because of his quality of his this or that? It's because of the office of power. Because sometimes he has character issues that they don't address. And the one that is addressing it, if he's not a strong man, he won't marry her. He will shun her because she's holding up her standard. Hold up the standards of your quality, your relationships, stand in integrity in friendships, in intimate relationships, because that's the only way you're going to have the values thereof. I know this has been a long video, but things like this, you can't say them in 2 words. You're going to take a while to say them, right? So stand in integrity. Stand for quality of being, and in your quality of being, then you can recognize the quality of being in others. And you will know when you've been played, right? Until next time, this is Jerome Sage Butler, Reasonings right here at the Tree of Life. We're in the bamboo paradise. Just reminding you that you are an integritous gift to yourself, to your family, to your community, to your friends, to your most intimate of relationships, love and